every student. So today we have a seminar on that making an impression in the virtual interview with your using your speech, posture, and ambience. So for this session, we have our one of the best faculty, Dr. Vanita Joshi. Dr. Vanita Joshi possesses an academic experience of 18 years in teaching at postgraduate level in various management institutes. She is a science math graduate, MBA in IT, and awarded PhD in the area of management. She holds a university gold medal for her meritorious performance in the postgraduate program, diploma in operations management from England, Delhi. She got further exposure to management school of program at IIM Bangalore and national research conferences and workshops in IIM Indore, IIM Delhi, IIT Delhi, APD School of Management Delhi, and University, Ahmedabad. She has won the two Best Research Paper Awards in ninth Nirma International Conference on Management, Ahmedabad, and in third International Marketing Conference at IBS Mumbai, respectively, and holds two Best PhD Thesis Awards to her credit. She has been actively involved in delivering faculty and student development programs on various topics of interest in UG colleges of Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Presently, she is serving at ICTR Business School, Mumbai as full-time faculty and is heading the entrepreneurship cell at IBS campus. I request Dr. Vanita ma'am to address the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Rahul sir. And I've been receiving a lot of messages in the chat window that you were not on and you was a little feeble. I just want students to acknowledge me also that am I clearly audible to them or not? Yes. Mayuri, thank you so much because if okay, okay. At any point of time, please let me know. So we don't want you to miss out any important, information.
I have
We
one
would expect you.
no problem, ma'am.
Okay, so meanwhile, I have a very important request to make. Is like at any point of time you want to speak to me, then only you first raise hand and then you unmute yourself. And please remain muted, remain off camera so that we can save bandwidth. And you're most welcome to put your messages in the chat. But I think we must take the chat or the queries little late because last time when we had a session on micro presentation, we realized that there were a lot of queries in between, and there where it actually broke flow, which we prepared that we must complete important information. So maybe you're requested to please keep the queries for the end so that we will not break in between. So Viput is saying, Abhijit is saying my voice is breaking. Rahul sir, you have to be there to acknowledge that whether my voice is really breaking or it's a problem at student front also.
No, ma'am, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, so if few students are having
actually, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Actually, you are a little bit breaking, and Rahul is very low. We can't hear Rahul's voice.
Okay.
So Rahul, you have to rectify at your end. Ma'am, yours still is okay. It is sometimes it is very rarely it has been breaking.
Okay, Tejesh sir, thank you so much for coming in. Because with students we can't sure whether
yes.
Okay. So I am good to go, Tejesh sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so very good afternoon to one and all present here. First of all, I would like to congratulate you not for getting through with the written examination, but also sparing your valuable time to set your, preparation in the third round of our selection process at IBS. And this selection process is a pan-India process where we do not, segregate the students who have opted for a particular campus. So first of all, let me clear it to all of you that this particular selection process will make you eligible according to the grades you or any of the 9 campuses which you in virtual interview. It will cover speed, will cover your posture, and it will cover the ambience. But there are so many technical things also which I'll highlight during my presentation. I will see the messages. Will the recording session? Okay. I don't know who's want to say, whatever
It is
we
the
are not in the
recording
drop
session.
ring.
Session will be
Yeah,
recorded.
I know. Aditya, the session is getting recorded. I hope you can check on your Zoom screen also. And Jagriti, the presentation part is over. I'm so sorry. Last week only, I spoke 1.5 hours on presentation only, micro presentation. So kindly excuse me today because we don't want to. Sanket, can you please mute yourself, Sanket Jain? It will be a great. Okay. See, you have to take care of your fellow also. They all have come with certain expectation, and if we'll waste our time in asking you to mute, not speak, and all that, then I think some of the students will lose interest. Please maintain the decorum. Jagriti, I would just in the end brief you for 5 minutes about the micro presentation also. But excuse me, I can't take you to the details of that. It is already covered, and we'll have some more sessions on micro presentation. Please keep in touch with marketing executive. They will guide you, and so in future you can join those sessions. So before your this selection process would happen, you will again find some more slots for micro presentation. So just be in touch with the marketing executives. Okay, Jagriti? So from here, allow me to take you through virtual presentation. See, the lockdown has made us come to this process where we are all meeting online. Certainly, we are not liking that because when the students across India travel to Hyderabad, see our beautiful campus there, see the time management and how we operate through this such process that gives a altogether different feel. But believe me, even in the online process, you will realize that it is a typical management institute selection process which will go very formal. So time management, formal, properly maintaining the decorum, and preparing well for your second round, which is micro presentation, and third round, which is final presentation, final interview. I think you would realize that how IBS operate and how particular we are when it comes to conduction of things. So I'll just first tell you that how it will go, and then we'll move to personal interview. You will receive a mail or a call from IBS where you will get a time and date for your round 2 and 3. So far, the round 2 and 3 used to held separately, but the panels are also different. But this time, you will have to log into a particular meeting ID. Most probably, it will be on Zoom. So you have to keep track. Suppose it is 18th of February, 10 o'clock in the morning. It means you must log in 15 minutes before. The reason is if the aspirant prior to you has got some technical glitches, we may call the next students early. It's better you remain there 15 minutes before. Now, suppose you log into your session, your meeting, you will be first getting 5 minutes for a micro presentation. You will choose a topic of your interest and you will speak on that topic. There will be no question answers in between the presentation and even after the presentation. It is not a check of your knowledge, it's a check of your confidence and communication skills. Once you will complete your micro presentation, not more than 5 to 6 minutes, the same panel will start your personal interview. And then they will have some queries, know more about you, to understand what are you looking for in a career, to get a clarity on why IBS only. So there are many such but I'll tell you today that what all grounds you will be judged on, you will be evaluated on. Okay. So shall we proceed? So I think virtual world is now not new to us. It's almost 2 years by the end of March or February that we have been interacting, studying, and our entire socializing happening virtually. But when it comes to selection process where will make or break your career, I should not use such terms, but yes, it is true. The institute we choose for your postgraduate programs actually make or break your career. So you must make a wise decision and you must prepare well for your final impression. It doesn't mean that they are virtual a platform where we can see you, we can watch you, we can hear you, we can listen to your thoughts and your opinion and how you present your say. The thing is, we will miss out your physical presence at our esteemed panels. Okay. So when it comes to virtual world, I think there are a lot of things which we are not actually aware of, we ignore, but that plays a very, very important role. Okay. And there where you have to be first prepared, and to prepare, please practice. You just can't directly sit opening your laptop and start speaking, because if you have never given presentation, you have never interacted formally with anybody on virtual medium, it will be difficult for you to gain confidence at 11th hour. So you should start practicing on Zoom meeting, conduct or schedule Zoom meetings with you, your friends. Your friends ask some questions, you act like an interviewee, let them act like interviewer, and then practice it. So that will give you a little bit of confidence about. Also, you will be aware about that how your voice comes over the virtual platform, how you maintain your voice modulation, whether your body language is confident or not. So I think practice is always your how or a communicator. But this changes, the level of confidence also changes. That's my personal experience also. So since it's where you will be choosing your institute, you would, I think, a lot of questions related to recording. Don't worry. The most important thing is that, right? So there's so many factors which actually make a personal interview a very impressive personal interview, and it varies from one candidate to another candidate. Is used to essentially ensure in the candidate. The very first thing is the passion, the interest, the drive to take up certain opportunity is very, very important. Now, why this question is at this particular point is at the first sequence is first in the sequence, because when we ask like why do you want to do postgraduate programs in MBA in management, or why MBA or why IBS, some such questions where students sometimes gives us reply like my father wanted me to do, or my friends have already studied from IBS, or I have seen that so many friends have talked about it, so I thought like why shouldn't I also get it? Or my cousin wanted me to do MBA, that's why I'm here. No, these are not the kind of replies which we expect. Somebody should not push you to something which which can get you people around you. And management is all about working among people, working for people, and working with people. And there where if you are not able to communicate well with them, I think you need to keep a check on it. So communication skill, one thing, please don't misunderstand it with the language fluency and the knowledge of the language. It is certainly important because that's a medium through which we communicate. That's a carrier through which we talk to the people. But communication also means to keep it simple yet clear, crisp, and relevant. Can you speak to people who talk garbage? No. You will always like to talk to the people who talk relevant, who speak what is required to, and who can communicate their intention. So please be very, very careful that you should not be perceived by interviewer in some different way. So what you speak and how you speak also matters, right? You may be trying to say something about some issues that you faced in your some of the journey, and you realize that it was communicated in a very different way so that the panel couldn't get you, and then they're asking you, sorry, we couldn't get you, come again. So make sure that you frame the sentences, articulate them in this way so that what you are intending to say, you could communicate that. So we will have separate session on communication skill that is to be held tomorrow. I don't know whether the same set of students or the aspirants will get the information, because there are so many sessions back to back happening. You can better connect with the marketing team. They'll let you know what are we expecting from the aspirants when it comes to communication skills. Okay? So the fourth important point is influencing skills. We feel like we can influence people by our looks. We feel that we may influence people by our confidence or by our way we communicate, but influencing skills is an overall personality. Okay, so it could be not merely looks, but your academic credentials also. Make sure that you give a good impression through your personality, which is a unidimensional attribute. It covers so many factors in it. What I'll say in a single line is please collect all your positives in order to influence the panel. Okay, so you know what you're good at. So I think since we remain with a very limited time now, today is 22nd of January, and from 17, 18 we are starting the process. So I think not much of time is there with you. Make sure that you better work on your positive sides instead of on trying to improve on something which is limiting you. Okay. Last but not the least is influencing skills and personalities goes hand in hand. You need to remain confident throughout your personal interview and micro presentation. You know the best part. Are we going to talk about something else? No. Are we going to talk about our esteemed prime minister or somebody else? No. Then we could have little bit concern like what if I'm not prepared well? You are here to talk about your own candidature. And I think you should be the most confident person when it's come to talking about self. But it always happens contradictory. If your teacher will ask you to stand up and tell me what you want to do in your life, people started getting fumbling and they say, "Oh, I have not thought of it. I'll see, ma'am." Or if I'll ask you, "Okay, introduce yourself to me," I think very few students have this confidence to talk about their own candidature for 2 minutes without any break, without any hesitation. Now, after speaking for 4 or 5 lines, we will all give a pause and we'll start thinking, now what should we talk about? So this is what our condition is, and please don't take it otherwise. When I was in my college days, I can relate it with me that we always have that kind of fear in our mind that we are just getting through our graduation now, looking for post graduation. What extra I can talk about me? I have only my education to talk about. I have only my, some of the skill sets or some of the certifications which I have done. So how can I continuously keep on talking about me? But believe me, it's not that difficult. All you need to do is just write a script about yourself. I mean introduction of self. Read it loud. Sure, check that whether it is properly compiled, and then record it and listen to your own speech. I am very sure you will be able to get a lot of clarity about that. What are you speaking and what are you missing out? Okay, I'll just take 1 minute pause to see what all messages are there. Somebody's writing my voice is breaking. Oh my god. Okay. Rahul sir is also acknowledging the same. I don't know why it's happening. I have got a very good internet connection at this place, so that should not happen.
Ma'am,
Still, it is so.
it is showing that the bandwidth is slow. I think it's the internet is a problem.
Okay, so want me to convert to another device. I can do that also. Whatever. Okay, 1 second. Allow me to just come out of this. I hope also you are also keeping eye on chat messages. In case I miss out. Okay, I am now now is better.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. So that is keeping slides also, so that you can just have a look at what are things you messages, chat messages later. I hope we are getting the view of my slides again. So these are the still unstable, still showing unstable. Also, please, you can unmute and speak. I'm not.
Yes, ma'am. Your voice is still breaking. Even the video is fluctuating. Ma'am, try.
Shall I stop my video and then I should speak? I think
please
that will bring me.
Please try one. Please try one.
Okay. Is it okay now? Okay.
Ma'am, please say something and we will check.
Yes, yes. Okay.
It is
So,
clear now.
thank you. Sorry, all the aspirants, if I'll go off camera, I hope I was sufficiently, for the sufficient time I was there on the camera. So, allow me to remain off camera and speak to you. So, we were there at the parameters where you will be assessed on. Believe me, you have to work on all these points, which I'll quickly, reiterate it. Passion and drive, why you want to do MBA, why this institutes, you have to do research well. Learnability, how quick you are at picking up new things. Communication skills is how confident you are to communicate, to convey your thoughts to the person. Influencing skills is an overall personality which talks about you. So these are the things which we will judge you on, which we will evaluate on. The other parameters would relate to this only. Now, before we go for any personal interview, what is the most important thing which we must not miss is our CV. Now, I know there would be some candidates who would ask me, ma'am, are we supposed to uh, keep our CV ready in a soft copy format? So, if in case you ask, no, we will not ask you for your CV, right? But you must have your CV with you so that it will give you more confidence to have a complete look of your profile and you can talk about it more confidently. So, first impression you can seriously bring in so very well if you have your updated resume in hand, all you're set to talk about your CV, right? Most important thing when it comes to virtual, you can now also check that we are facing a lot of technical issues irrespective of using 2 month connections back to back. But see, technology is very vulnerable. You never know at what point of time it may cheat you in term of like it's not reliable and it's not stable. So give enough time to relax yourself, check your virtual background, check your audio, video, everything, and that's how you will find confident that okay, now I'm breathing normally and I'm set for my personal interview and micro presentation. Tell me one thing, whenever you go to market to buy anything, it's like you all buy or you do online shopping and all that, do you buy immediately when someone said that, okay, buy this denim jeans, it's very good, or buy this cloth, or buy this particular gadget? You always research about. So you're spending just say, for example, 5,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees or say 70,000 rupees on your mobile phone. You inquire, review, go through the reviews, you research about that product so very much that as if like you are giving your life to that product. Imagine giving your life to this particular selection process. Proper selection of institute will certainly design your career. You know why? We get the company also like that. So I will talk about that, Aditya, just a few minutes. Okay, the next slide is about that only. So it's very, very important that you must, because you're investing your money, your time, your efforts, and it will shape your career. So I know if we are taking you, you are a responsibility, but at the same time you all have to deliver well in order to get a promising career secured for you. It's not like you will be donated all the facilities. You have to earn it. We have at students at IBS who get the packages of 15 lakh, 16 lakhs, and we have students whom we have to kind of adjust with 4.5 or 5 lakhs of packages, and then we feel bad about them. But is it like candidate or is it institute or is it candidate? The same institute where students are picking up very good companies, very good packages, and the same institute where somebody is not able to crack interview. So do you see that there is a difference? Why? Because the candidate do not respond to all the resources which is available to him or her, right? So make sure that you make a wise decision, and for that research the potential institute which you are appearing for. Now what comes in the research? What you will check? So check for the most important thing is their alumni base, like where their passed out students are working, what position they are serving. Even at IBS, we got around 55,000 above alumni, and we have alumni meet every campus as twice a year. And we have students coming from batch of 1999, 2000, and they have their kids now of college age, and they want them to, get admitted to IPS. So it's a legacy which we are trying to follow. Like, a grandfather tells that my son is from IBS, and the son says that, my I will make my son study in IBS. So that kind of legacy we are looking at, and that's where our alumni base is supporting us a lot. Second thing is about the kind of curriculum flexibility which an institute offers. So IBS has got a very fantastic curriculum, arrangements in a way. The students get 3.5 months of internship, that too a rigorous internship, because students do not come to campus. They remain at the field and they are completely working as an employee, but as a trainee there, right? And they get to understand the entire corporate culture, the norms. And after that, when he gets into the second year of his postgraduate program, there's a not like you will be given the brackets for this finance, you have to pick 4 subjects, marketing, you have to pick 3 subjects. No. So we've got around 60 above is specialization, and we never restrict students to go with only dual or only major minor. You may have all subjects from streams, and you can have only one subject, that is finance, and all subjects of finance. We give complete liberty to students of subjects of their choices. Then comes the industry acceptance. IBS curriculum is so apt with the industry requirement that, believe me, if a recruiter will tell us that, madam, we want students only for insurance sectors, in general life insurance, we will quickly bring that program into our curriculum. Right? Kanishka, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to, let my connection remain stable. But I don't know why I'm getting this. I never used to receive such complaints. Sometimes we lose love around. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just speak slowly so that you will miss out words, not sentences. Okay. I'm still off cameras, but I'm with you. Please bear with me. Okay. Thank you. So review your candidature. I know you will all prepare your CV well, and we will have a basic information about your candidature. But still, sometimes what happens, something which we mentioned, but it's not matching with our, facts. So suppose you're saying that I have been throughout a very active student, and we'll ask you, okay, which all activities you have participated in, and then you have started giving a thought. So if you are saying that you were active students, then you must have list of events, programs, competitions you were there, or coordinated. Suppose you have not won any competition, perfectly fine, but it may happen that you have coordinated so many events, right? So you must keep those things also ready. That are your personal traits. Like you are very punctual, you never missed out any lecture. You were always acknowledged for good attendance. Why not? You can mention it. Please note down some positive points about you. Everyone has positive in them. So please make sure that before this interview, you write down all positive things in you and how you will present it in interview. Because it's not a time to focus on negative, it's time to focus on positive. Prepare 1 to 2 minute script about yourself. We always take it for granted. And whenever someone asks us, okay, tell us about yourself, and then we start fumbling. Why we should? When we have to talk about self. One has to be the most confident person when he or she has to talk about self. So I would suggest you, like you get an assignment to write about our Prime Minister or our President, why don't you write about yourself? Prepare 2 pages of introductory remark in a bulleted point, so that bulleted points are very helpful in recollecting in mind. So prepare a proper script, read it loud. Why I'm saying this? Because when we read, we get to know that have we compiled it properly? Are we moving in a sequence? You should not jump here and there when you introduce yourself, okay? And then record your own voice, listen to it, and then make correction where you need. Give emphasis on the good points, like I have been a scholar student, sir, throughout my academic. I have stood first in my 10th standard. I have stood first in my junior college. I was always admired and appreciated for my active participation in every college or school activity. I am a bit introvert, but I have a very good way of looking at things. I do thought process a lot. I take decisions very formally. Something which could, add to your candidates. Apart from merely talking about that, sir, I have done my schooling from this school, I have graduated from that college, I have secured second division. No, these are the basic information quite expected. But what else you can? I'm like just add some cherries to the cake, kind of. Make sure you have an appropriate interview attire. You know, we all have been so habitual of attending our regular classes in Bermudas and pajamas because it's online. We know that we are hardly on camera. Teacher also have been fed up now calling you on camera. And if it is also to be there on camera, I know that entire 1 hour lecture can't go when the students remain on camera. So that has made us so relaxed that we have somewhere lost the significance of a typical formal dress code. All my dear candidates attending this session and managing to get me clearly with this instability in my network connectivity, please make sure you put on formal attire, and that day please put on full formal attire. You might require to stand and go here and there to check something. It should not that you are just upper half you are wearing formals and in a lower half you are still in pajamas and all that. So make sure I may say you that I don't know about the kind of temperature the places you are in, but it's mostly winter time in February. Please put on a proper blazers with tie. Girls can also make sure that you are wearing formals, at least something which covers your neck to half. That looks very formal. If you are keeping your hairs open, make sure that you are not doing them at the time of interview. So it should not fall on your face, or it should not be so kind of easy that you have to all the time keep it proper. Boy, if you are fond of keeping beard, make sure it is properly groomed, right? So your face should be clearly visible, and that innocence should not hide behind the beard. I know you are being appreciated for your manly look by so many around you, but this is not to show your looks. It's a time to show that how you can present yourself formally. Okay. So with speech, if our attire, our body language also match, it will give more confidence. I don't know. But I'm very sure most of you would acknowledge that, madam, our attire gives us more confidence because we know that it's virtual, but still it shows like how serious you are because you are wearing a proper blazer, tie, your hairs are properly done. It indicates that you are very prepared for this interview, right? So make sure that you put on formal attire. Some more things to add here. As I have already told you, why I really call 10 minutes early when my turn is 10:15. You never know the candidate who are prior to you had gone through smooth, interview. Maybe technical glitches, maybe they couldn't log if you get to So today my session was at 12. I have been taking sessions from last 2 years online, but I set my laptop, my internet connection, mouse, my specs because I wear specs at times, 15 minutes before. I checked my background, everything. But still, you see, we have been facing difficulties. But at least I am confident that I have not, at 11th hour set for this session. So make sure you also do your preparation. Keep a proper background. Now, when it comes to proper